No, I don't want to be fat. You be giving me things. That's how you gave me. You wake me up in the night before. That I should wake up and eat, drink tea and bread. See the product. That made me.
See me tonight.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Bedroom Talk with
Emmanuel
and Kempia Nyabam. Yes, the last time we talked about the anatomy of affair, right?
Yeah.
We talked about the anatomy of affair. Yeah, so you're going to enlighten us a bit more. We'll enlighten you a bit more about that. Yeah, so over to you.
So when an affair begins, it pushes the threshold. You keep testing new levels, finding new escapes, finding new opportunities to be away from your partner. And then you have the final act. The final act is the first act, in fact. The moment you started thinking. Bible calls it a sin. So that's the real act, that thought. So we must control our thinking. And once we get beyond our thinking, we will actually commit the adultery, commit the sin, commit the action. And once we've committed the action, that is where you have actually stolen from that woman. Now, a woman is designed to be covered by a man. So once you take your covering, your as a man, you take your covering from your wife and you go and give it to others. You can't cover all of them. You are not designed to be able to protect all of them. You know, a good example of that was when Jacob was coming back to meet his brother, he sent his family ahead. And he said, they are your servants. Because he knew he could not defend every one of them. Plus his slaves, he couldn't defend them. So he had to find a way to defend his family. And it was at that point that he had a fight with God himself.
But don't you think that was a little selfish? Like, what if he sent them down, then this one kills everybody?
You will escape again.
But that don't you think that is?
That's why he was called the supplanter, and it was in that he's being crafty, because he had always been crafty with his brother.
Okay, so he wanted to use his children, the children, and his wife to plead for mercy, because if he sees the children and the women, because in war you actually don't kill women and children.
Yes.
So when he sees them, he will just have mercy. And ask.
So, and that altered everything. But it was at that point that he met with God. God took his hip and gave him a new name, called him Israel. So until a man understands that he's supposed to cover a woman, every other woman he goes to, he's actually stealing from them. It means they must break blood ties for them to be connected with their true cover. Every woman is designed as a rib taken out. And the rib that was taken to make a woman, not create, because God didn't create again, he just made, is the one that sits in front of his heart. Is the weakest point in a man's life. You want to kill a man, hit him in his heart, shoot him, hit him, he's gone. So that's what God took. So God took the heart of a man. So when a man keeps sowing his wild oats everywhere, he's actually taking himself away from being able to cover his wife. Like you mentioned in one of the episodes, you said that if men started coming at you, very attracted to you, there was no device that they were not using to get at you. And it's because the cover was no more there. Now, once the cover is no more there is something that goes on. The distance between the couple keeps increasing. And then we get to that point where we say divorce has happened. Right? The woman just realized that the things she was condoning. Because let me tell you, every time you have an affair, especially men, you think your partner doesn't know. Their spirit knows because you are one. They know, but they try to ignore it. They ignore it as long. So when you hear that a woman has sought for divorce, she has gotten tired of ignoring it. They know, they sense. God has given them that ability. Maybe it's because that's why they have multitasking abilities. But they can sense. She knows when I'm talking to somebody else. She just knows. So that's the understanding.
Sometimes I will tell him, greet your girlfriends, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at me like, sometimes he wants to be angry or he'll be putting up a defense. What are you? I just say, you're just wasting your time.
So, but you see, there's a recovery, and that's the key. I think that's what we want to pass down as a message to everybody that listens to us. So it's began with me realizing that I was losing a grip on everything in life, and I made up my mind to fight to recover my home. First thing is, my parents had counseled enough of people, and they taught me everything to keep my home.
Yeah, so let me come in here, right? There was a time I got up early in the morning. We had a fight in the evening, and I had to do with the other woman. So I got up early in the morning, packed my things, and I was leaving. The car was in the house. I just packed my things and I was leaving. Okay, you want to stay with the children? Oh, yeah, stay with them. I'm going, And because we're staying in the family house, taking care of his sick mom and his sick father, we had to move into the family house to take care of them. Ima is the first one, I am the first one too. So I had to plead with him. He said that line is not going, but there are only two. We're only ones here.
Yeah.
So who will take care of them? The house is big, nobody in the house, so we came to take care of them. And they happened to be in our drama, And Emmanuel saw he couldn't. He was trying to collect the bag from me. Please don't go, please don't go. I just pushed him. I just had the strength. I just pushed him, opened the door, and I left with my bag. And he ran and entered his father's room. His parents' room. He entered this room, this room. He entered this room. And he told his father and mother, Kepe is leaving. His mom couldn't walk. She was trying to get up, and at the point she fell. She couldn't, so she just sat down there and she started praying and crying. And his father ran out and started following me to the junction. If people know our house, he was following me. He didn't say anything. He was just following me. That's Emmanuel's father, not Emmanuel. His father was just he didn't say anything. He didn't say Ken sorry. He didn't say. I didn't know that they had called my mom. His father and mom, they didn't know what to do. These are counselors they've been counseling people for 40 years, and they didn't know how to bring us back together. We've been having challenges, and all of that. They didn't know how to bring us back together. And the best thing they could do was just to call my mom at that moment. And my mom called me and she said, where are you? She was going to church in the morning. She said, where are you? Early, around 6 a.m. I said, I'm coming to the house. Or are you going to send me away? I said, I put up a defense. I said, you're going to send me away. If you don't want me to stay in your house, just let me know. I'll go and get, you think I don't have, I know people, I just started talking to my mom. Anyhow, my mom said, she now called me. She said, Ken, please, where are you? I said, I am coming home now. She said, please, wait wherever you are. Where are you? I said, I'm at the junction, Old Airport Junction. She said, okay, just sit down, I'm coming. I sat down there. And she came. And she saw, I sat down, and Daddy too sat down close to me. He didn't say anything. The next thing I saw him doing was he put his hand on me, like this. Put his hand on me. And he was doing this. He was just tapping. And he was praying. He was tapping and praying. See, it's one thing to have parents, and another thing to have praying parents.
Yeah.
Praying parents.
Yeah.
They didn't see if it was another person maybe that doesn't know God, and they'll just say, "Oh, okay, she to hell, let her go." Let her go. Is she the only one? Is the person? No, let her go. But no, they stood with me. Daddy was just tapping my hand, and he was praying and rocking his body and praying. And my mom came. We entered her car, came to the house. We entered the room, and I just started talking. No. This is what Emmanuel is doing. You're bloody irresponsible. I was spitting out words, hard words. I was insulting I was insulting Emmanuel. I was saying all sorts of things. Emmanuel wanted to talk. His mother said, "You stupid, shut up your mouth. We're here to make sure that your home is, and you want to say something. What do you want to say? What haven't you, my mother-in-law just took over. So what do you want to say? What haven't you done for this girl? This girl has done this. She's been standing with you. She's been doing this. She's been doing. What have you done for her? She just took over. If I was a bad daughter-in-law, I would have, she would have, she would have, you should have said, but that was when I saw, that these people really, they really cared about me. They really loved me because they wanted our home to work. My mother was there, his father was there, his mother was there, and the three of them they didn't know what to do, all of them. They crumbled. They're like, they didn't know. When you reach a point that you don't even know what to do, what to say. What should I say to this girl? This girl has really tried, In fact, what my mother-in-law said, she said, if you want to divorce, I will let you go. That's what she said. She said, I will let you go. But know that you have a special place in my heart. My mother-in-law said this to me. She said, no, you have a special place in my heart and I'm praying for you. And I know. She said, I know. In my heart of hearts, I know you have tried. Okay, it's getting emotional for me, but please just subscribe, like, follow, share. You'll hear more in the next episode.
And you can ask questions.
Ask questions, yes. We're still going to talk about how we worked it out. So just subscribe, share, and follow us. Thank you.